So what are y'all thoughts in terms of a bit of good news for Uncle Shay?
Congratulations, man. Because every penny saved is a penny earned.
So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm glad that this slap was like, oh, nope, we're going to take that back. But in regards to the rest of the shenanigans, he brought that shit on himself.
As much as we have these icons who feel like you can earn and grow out of the racial tension in America, that's one glass ceiling that we just never seem to break.
He's already paid his debt to society. So now he should be allowed to make a living and move the fuck on. And to the lady who was out there at the Usher concert,
why do teachers got to act different than the parent who's 2 rows down?
If you are a person that is front-facing and you have constituents that can with you, you have to know that.
To play her to the left just because she was enjoying her adult life is technically wrong.
When do teachers get to clock out? It's bad enough we deal with your kids more than you do.
I think this is an overreaction.
But if you have a job, just be mindful that how you act in public has consequences. How about a bit of good news for your boy Shannon Sharpe, right? Apparently the lawsuit, the defamation lawsuit that was filed against Shannon and Ocho was dismissed. You know what I mean? A bit of good news finally for Shannon. As you guys already know by now, you know what I mean? He was officially let go from ESPN. There were questions in regards to whether or not the sponsorship that he had with Volume was still popping or not, right? A fall from grace, a fall from a space that he was about to reach rarefied air. So what are y'all thoughts in terms of a bit of good news for Uncle Shay?
Too little, too late. First off, no, congratulations, man. Because every penny saved is a penny earned. And right now, if I were you, I'd be counting my pennies. Shoot, I'm counting my pennies now, and I'm not you. So, I feel it for you, bro. Like, I'm happy that there was some release in your life somewhere, because you're taking a lot of L's right now. And so, Shannon, if you're watching, I'm sure you are, because you got a lot of free time, and you love us anyway. Listen, man, I can't help but think about the fact, and I got to look at my own life when I look at this, right? You know how many people told Shannon before this went down that maybe he was moving into space that was problematic? I mean, Kat said it on his show. Monique said it on his show. A few people were like, yo, Shannon, dude, you might want to slow down. He's like, I got this. And then there we go. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. It's really interesting that as much as we have these icons who feel like you can earn and grow out of the racial tension in America, I think that's one glass ceiling that we just never seem to break. And I'm sorry that Shannon, as tall and as big as he stood, had to bump his head on it.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. It's interesting. I say kudos and congratulations as well for the defamation lawsuit, because at sometimes you just gotta stop getting slapped in the face. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm glad that this slap was like, oh, nope, we're gonna take that back, because the rest of the time it's been like bam, bam, bam. And one thing after another, because you know what the society does. They have a tendency to kick you while you down. And so it's like, so I'm glad to see that he got this reprieve. But in regards to the rest of the shenanigans, he brought that shit on himself, because multiple people warned him, young and old, warned him about the way he was moving. And he chose to continue to move that because, he got the OJ syndrome, where it was like, I'm not a Negro, I'm OJ, And so it turns out, no, OJ, in the words of Jay-Z, you still and that's what happened with Shannon Sharpe in this particular case. But kudos and congratulations, because damn, he had a whole lot of generational wealth leaving that household to go into another household. So I'm glad he's getting this, because he may not be able to pay his pay that $23 million, or supposedly $23 million, if he had to get hit with this another defamation suit. Next thing you know, he would have been in the Poe house, living in an outhouse with no house. So yay.
I mean, somebody got to shoot Shannon some bail. I feel like y'all be piling on. All right, let's really re-examine what exactly happened here. Homeboy was having race play with some thotty that he met off of OnlyFans. I mean, for all intents and purposes, Shorty was a call girl, allegedly, right? So we can protect ourselves, right, when we talk our talk. Because now in the day and age of being podcasters, you can say something and you can get sued, right? Which is what the lady was doing in regards to the whole defamation lawsuit. It was thrown out because it was probably full of shit, right? I get it. Like, everybody wants to sue now for a payday. And some people get it. Now, I want to shoot Shannon some bail because I get it. He made a mistake, maybe. Well, what was his mistake exactly? If he felt like he had an understanding with another adult who was involving themselves in whatever they were involving themselves in, and sure, he got played. But was it worth $100 million? Was it worth like whatever? No. I mean, there's a part of me as a black man that fuck it. I gotta say, you know what? This is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? At some point, which is why the defamation lawsuit got thrown out. But also, I mean, I think at the end of the day, like, yeah, he got set up. I mean, a lot of people are not as sophisticated as we may want them to be. Some of us do get got. Like y'all act like y'all have never been hustled or nobody's ever scammed you out of something. I'm freely able to admit that somebody has scammed me before. Was it because I was slow and green and country? Not necessarily. Maybe they caught me in a vulnerable moment, but it doesn't escape the fact that there are people out there who are going to take advantage of you. So I get it. You got to learn your lesson. It's an expensive lesson to learn, right? But with the defamation lawsuit, though, people can just file lawsuits and just besmirch your name, even if you didn't do anything. That's what also gets lost here, too. Shorty says, hey, we had a tumultuous consensual relationship, but that's not what you were claiming before this happened, which essentially ruined his reputation to a certain extent, especially with companies like ESPN and Disney. So it's like, all right, cool. Yeah, he made a mistake 1000%. Hopefully he learns from it. But now I want to root for him. You know what I'm saying? I hope that he finds a way to not only make it back to where he was, but even further than that. I mean, he's talented enough, but just fucking and slapping some cheeks of a little white bitch off of fucking OnlyFans with the nigga named Busby as your lawyer should not equal a $23 million payday. I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are, unless the nigga really did that shit. And I don't think anybody really believes that he did that shit. So I hear y'all. It's cool to pile on the nigga, but I'm gonna shoot him a little bit of bail. You know what I mean? At this point, he's already paid his debt to society. So now he should be allowed to make a living and move the fuck on, especially if his living is talking his talk. You know what I'm saying? Jay, you have something else on that? Anybody else?
No, I mean, I thought I was shooting him bail, giving him all grace. He made some mistakes, some errors in judgment anybody could make. I was trying to illuminate a larger lesson for us black men in areas of influence and power. I think about other prominent black men who got in situations with white women that looked like they were consensual on the front end, and on the back end, if she doesn't say exactly how it needs to sound, it comes back and it ruins them. And I just hope that a lot of black men are looking at that pattern, because one of the signs of intelligence is being able to recognize patterns.
And I too thought I shot him some bail because I did say congratulations. I
For what?
just
Oh, just for, oh, okay, gotcha.
for
You right.
not
You
getting
good.
slapped in the face with this. I said congratulations. So I did shoot him some bail. And then I just pointed out some of the obvious stuff that we've already talked about, so that it was like Captain Obvious over here. But at the same time, it was like, hey, congratulations, sir.
To the lady who was out there at the Usher concert, you know what I mean? Ma'am, when you went out there, you knew it was a thing to be at the Usher concert, and you went out there and did what you did. I mean, I guess she's trying to claim there was some loss of income because of all the other stuff. And I'm like, I hear you. Maybe you should act like a teacher that is at the Usher concert if you're concerned with how the parents are going to respond to how you're going to be behaving at the Usher concert. What?
No,
I
because
disagree with this 100%. Go
I,
ahead. Go
I
ahead, because
disagree
we got teachers
100%.
here. Yeah.
I disagree
What?
100%. When teachers are people,
With
why do teachers got to act different than the parent who's two rows down? That's ridiculous. When do teachers get to clock out? It's bad enough we deal with your kids more than you do. It's bad enough. Come on. It's bad enough. You send us kids and you like, I don't know what to
Nah,
do with it.
bro. Nah,
Yeah, nah,
nah,
man.
nah,
Let the
nah,
teacher
nah.
live. No.
No. A teacher can live, but that doesn't give you a free pass to just be out here wilding, because you have to be accountable to the people that you serve, low key. What world are you living in,
She didn't
bro?
break no laws. She was just doing her thing.
I'm not saying she did. I'm saying on a principle level, if you
Okay.
are a person that is front facing and you have constituents, we have learned through social media, through Karens, through whatever, that if the people have an issue with how you're showing up as a teacher, that can fuck with you. You have to know that.
It's true.
There was a sister in Atlanta who was just cute, curvy, and thick, and she was getting heat because she was teacher pay. And so now all of a sudden, just being naturally curvy. So I'm saying, yes, it's it's hard out there, but don't be out there thirsting or doing what the fuck you're doing and not expect for people to talk about it. It was like the Coldplay guy. If you're gonna cheat, cheat secretly, cheat privately. If you're gonna be out there and fangirl privately, but you know good and goddamn well that's not gonna happen at the Usher concert. Because the whole thing is, oh, put some cherries in my mouth. Whatever, bro. Like, what are we talking about, fam?
Okay, so I'm going to jump in and say that in her particular case, she was a private individual enjoying a very public moment. And this is her first time. It looked like, I don't know, it could have been some other time, but she obviously paid for them seats, a lot of money. So she wanted that Usher cherry treatment. And so for the parents to now come at and hit her, first of all, the kids can watch cartoons and see some sexuality within the cartoons itself. So to play her to the left just because she was enjoying her adult life is technically wrong, because it's not like she was doing race play and getting caught talking about you want to be choked. No, I'm just
Hold
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
on. Go
Let
ahead,
me
go
stop. I'm going to pull this back because ultimately what I'm trying to say is that I think that at some point people have to recognize, just like with other people, that they are human. In her case, I don't think she made a mistake. I think this is an overreaction to people saying that it was too judging her for being sexual in nature. But she's a grown ass adult, a person who has every right to be sexual. And if their kids, first of all, why are their kids watching it? Are their kids
Y'all
over
full
there
of
watching
cap.
it?
Y'all
I'm just
capping,
saying.
man.
No, he's
Or if
No,
right.
the
you can do
parents
what
Right.
you
Because
do as an
judging
apparently
her.
they ain't
adult.
parents.
Yeah, like
Nobody's
the
not.
parents should be stopping them from watching shit then. Like, why? They need to be controlling what their kids are watching. I put this on the parents 100%. And if the parents had a problem with it, it's probably because they was jealous that they weren't the ones sucking them cherries off them herpes ass. Off those.
Wow. Allegedly. You're trying to get us sued. And
That's
listen,
why I said
oh,
allegedly.
yeah,
Allegedly. I'm sorry. Allegedly. So anyway, so basically what I'm saying is the parents, particularly women, other women, may have been slightly jealous that they weren't in that position to get them cherries. And so that's all I'm going to say. Because
okay.
9 out of 10, it was women complaining.
No, so first of all, she's the one that sued Shannon and them. So she's claiming something happened, right? So she's blaming them. Now, all I'm saying is, if the people in her constituency had an issue, maybe she should have went to a school board and be like, "Hey, I can't do this to me or affect me no type of way. I'm grown." Yada yada yada. If the school board decides to take action based off her behavior, I mean, a lot of these clauses of morality, whatever, if she's behaving a certain type of way, then it is what it is. Girl, you knew what you signed up for. Again, I'm not saying, but I know that Shannon and Ocho shouldn't be responsible for that necessarily, which is why it was thrown out, number one. And number two, her gripe is probably with those parents. I get that.
Mhm.
But if you have a job and it's important to you, just be mindful that how you act in public has consequences. Just because y'all excuse this behavior, there's other behavior that people exhibit in public that people don't fuck with, right? That can cost them their job, even as a private citizen. Like the Karen situation. Oh, if you act some type of way towards a dude at the park, somebody can call your job, and now your company has to decide on whether or not they want to continue to employ you because you act like a fucking Karen. That's the world that we live in. So if it's that important to fan out at the Usher concert, know that it might come with consequences. That's all I'm basically saying. You can get your freak on in private, okay? Just like the CEO from Astronomer. But anyways,